Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We are going to go on to some factoring where a is not equal to 1. In the past, we did it where the number in front of the x squared was equal to 1. If you look at all these, it is not. Okay, and it's going to be a step at the beginning and a step at the end. Okay, all right. So in the past, we looked for the factors of negative 12, but now we're going to do 2 times negative 12, which is negative 24. And we're now going to look for the factors of negative 24. They give me to 5. So if I look at that, I have 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, ding, 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 ding. 3 and 8 get me to positive 5. So it would be negative 3, positive 8. Just like before, except we multiply to get that. All right, so it will be x minus 3 times x plus 8. All right, now the only difference at this point is now we have to go back and divide by that 3. Okay, so we're divide by that 2. So I'm going to divide this by 2. Okay, this one reduces, so I get x plus 4. This one is as simplified as it gets, but I don't leave it that way. I actually do what's called the swing method, and I swing that up here, so I get 2x minus 3. Okay, and we are now factored. So there are 2 steps, as I have one at the beginning when I do the multiplication, and at the end I got to divide that back out, reduce fractions, and swing. Okay, so we'll do another one. So if you look at the next example, it's going to be 3 times 4 is positive 12. So I'm looking for the factors of 12 that get me to negative 8. So 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. 2 and 6, in order to get to negative 8, would have to be both negative. Okay, so I no longer have to worry about this number. Remember, I'm looking at this one. So it's going to be x minus 2, x minus 6. All right, but if I multiply that out, we certainly would not get this. But now what I have to do is I have to divide both of those by 3. You note it. By the way, sometimes both of them will simplify, sometimes neither of them will, so just be mindful of that. All right, so this does simplify to x minus 2. This does not, so I'm going to swing the 3 up, and that's 3x minus 2. So if I would multiply this, I would get 3x squared. I'll multiply it out for us. I do get minus 6x. I get a minus 2x, and I get a plus 4, which these combine together. Back there. Okay? All right. So we're now going to do the third example. So I'm going to do the 5 times the 8, and I get 40. So I'm looking for the 2 factors of 40 that get me to 41. Well, 1 and 40, it happens to be it's that one. Okay? So it's both are plus. Product is still the same. Okay? So I'm going to have x plus 1 x plus 40, but I got to remember what do I need to do? I need to go divide by the 5. The second one reduces, so I get x plus 8. This one does not. By the way, it's not always the second one that will reduce. It just happened to be that way. And then this is 5x plus 1. Okay? All right. So now the next one we are not only going to factor, we're going to solve. All right, so if you look at the first one, 2 times 15 is positive 30. So I'm looking for the 2 factors of 30 that get me to negative 11. All right, so 1 and 30 is too big. 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6. Well, 5 and 6 will get me there. Both have to be negative to give me a positive product. So it's going to be x minus 5. X minus 6, okay, but I got to remember, I still got to divide by 2. This does equal 0, by the way. So this one swings, so it's 2x minus 5, and this is x minus 3. All right, so now we're going to solve this one. So if I look at this one, what makes that equal 0 is when x is 3, and we did a few of these last time. If you remember, it's going to be positive 5, but I got to divide by this, so it's x is equal to 5 halves. Okay? All right. And then the last one of these is, all right, same thing. I'm solving again. So 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. So I'm looking for the two factors of negative 20 that get me to 19. 1 and 20. Oh, look at that. So it'd be negative 1, positive 20. Their product is negative 20. Their sum is 19. So it's x minus 1 times x plus 20 equals 0, but I'm going to divide by 4. So this one, the right one is x plus 5. This one is 4x minus 1, and that equals 0. So when I solve this, I'm going to be adding 1 and dividing by 4. To solve this one, I'm just going to be subtracting 5 and dividing by the 1. Okay? So that's factoring with a coefficient other than 1. Okay, the other thing we have to do is to do a little bit of identifying A, B, and C. This is for the quadratic formula. The whole deal on these, you got to set it equal to 0. Okay? So first I'm going to look at this one. It is set equal to 0. So A is going to be the number in front of the x squared. B is in front of the x, and C is the constant. So in this case, A is negative 4, B is 3, C is negative 2. Okay, another form of it, if I flip all the signs, it could be A is 4, B is negative 3, and C is 2. It could be the same thing. Okay? All right, so if you look at this one's not equal to 0, so I need to subtract 10, and I would get 3x squared minus 7x minus 10 equals 0. Now it's in the right form, so what's in front of the x squared? So A is 3, B is negative 7, and C is negative 10. Okay? All right. So if we look at the third one, it is equal to 0, but one of the terms is missing. Well, A is what's in front of the x squared. There is a number there, so A is 1. B is what's there, so B is 10. And the C is the constant, which is missing, so C is 0. Okay? All right, last one, by the way, one will give you the same answer for this one. Would be A is negative 1, B is negative 10, and C is still 0. That would give us the same solution when we get to the quadratic formula. All right, the last one is this. So I'm going to bring this over. So it's plus 7x. And I am going to switch the order from highest exponent to lowest. So it's negative x squared plus 7x plus 10 equals 0. So now it is in the right form. So A is a number in front of the x squared. So A is negative 1. B is 7. And C is 10. Using a quadratic formula, we could also do the opposites of all those. So A is 1, B is negative 7, and C is negative 10. Okay? All right. Do the notes. Turn them in. Extra credit. Thank you. Bye.